You should not lucid dream if this describes you. And I know you might be thinking, well, I want to lucid dream, but trust me, if this describes you, what I'm about to tell you now, and you're trying to lucid dream, don't do it. Okay, this is not worth it. So what am I talking about here? Well, basically, if you are the type of person who likes to play video games, watch action and horror movies, and you like the idea of trying these things out in a dream, you really shouldn't lucid dream. Okay, this has been talked about before. I actually got into a bit of an argument on Reddit with some people and on Discord as well, because people didn't seem to see the connection here. But what I'm talking about is if you are, acting out dreams, in your lucid dreams, you're acting out these like action scenarios, these fights, these violent things, right, from horror movies or action movies. That has an impact on your mental health and on your emotional well-being. So your brain doesn't know the difference between what you're having an experience in real life, like what you're actually experiencing, and what you experience in a dream. To your brain, it's kind of the same thing, and it creates real changes and real effects in your brain and in your neurochemistry. So if you intentionally do something, like you intentionally start a fight with somebody in a dream, to your brain, it's the same thing as if you had actually started a fight with somebody in real life. And it's the same thing if you do anything. I'm not going to go into detail, I want to keep this fairly PG, but you get the idea, right? If you intentionally do something that you know is bad, or that you should know is bad, in a dream, it's the same thing to your brain as if you had actually chosen to do that thing in waking life. So I don't want to be all doom and gloom. If that describes you, if you're the type of person who wants to do that in a dream, you probably shouldn't be learning how to lucid dream. Now, that being said, if you want to experience action and adventure, that's fine. What I would say is you need to think about your mental health, your mental and emotional health. If you're trying to do something that you know is immoral or wrong or bad or whatever in a dream, that's kind of a red flag, and you should really kind of like be aware of that. Just try and stop doing that. However, if you just want to go on an adventure, maybe have like a little, not a battle, but like if you wanted to just go on an adventure and just have some kind of conflict or challenge or obstacle, like maybe you want something to chase you to make it more exciting, that's fine, because you're not intentionally doing harm to something or someone. So that being said, if you do want to learn so much about lucid dreaming, if you want to learn how to master it and control it, I did actually make a free video here on YouTube, and it's about half an hour long. And in this video, I condensed most of what I know, 80 to 90% of what I know about lucid dreaming, into this one video. And the link is in the description. It might also be the link in the pinned comment. But leave a comment letting me know what you think about this. I know it's quite debatable, right? The idea of not lucid dreaming. A lot of people want to lucid dream specifically to do those things, all the things they can't do in waking life, the things that would have consequences if you did it in waking life. And I know that seems like almost counterintuitive. You'd think that, well, if lucid dreaming has no consequences and it's kind of like a virtual reality playground, well, then I can do anything I want to and there's no consequences. And I kind of see what you mean by that. But at the same time, although there's no physical consequences in waking life, there are consequences inside your own mind, which then become real life. I hope this is kind of making sense to you. It's quite difficult to explain exactly what I mean by this, but another example would be, let's say, horror movies. Now, this is obviously quite debated, but the evidence is kind of becoming more and more that it's building that if you watch horror movies, it has a direct influence on your brain, your mental health, your emotional health, and how you feel, even subconsciously. It's not really that much of a stretch to believe that the things you watch obviously go into your brain, your subconscious mind, you absorb those things and you remember those things. Let's say if you watch horror movies, right, you will be able to remember graphic scenes years later. When you remember those scenes, you also bring up the memory of how it made you feel. Those scenes are always there in your subconscious mind. They never go away. So the only way to avoid that negative effect is just to not watch them in the first place. It's the same thing with a lucid dream. If you do something in a lucid dream that is really, really like graphic or something that you would never do in waking life, but you chose to do it in a lucid dream, you're still going to have those memories. And those memories kind of like haunt you. Obviously, you can do what you want in a lucid dream. I'm not here to like be the lucid dreaming police, but it's just worth being aware of. You can't unremember something like that, especially if it's something really which you know in waking life you would never do. So that's my, personal 2 cents on this. Like I said, watch the video linked in the description or the pinned comment, because it's going to teach you loads about lucid dreaming. 80 to 90% of what I've learned over the last almost decade now. And leave a comment kind of letting me know what you think about this.